Spider-Man 2 is a really good game, and you should play it. Alright, see ya! Just kidding. I mean, that is the overall thesis for this video. We're going to talk about Grandpa Earl a little later in the video, but first, I just want to gush about this game. This franchise just keeps getting better and better with every game that's coming out, and that's kind of rare for a franchise to be able to do. What Insomniac has made here is something really, really special. The story is amazing. It's super well written. It's very complex. There's so many characters, so many twists and turns and unexpected surprises. It just has a lot of moving parts to it. Made even more complex by the fact that you can play as Peter Parker and Miles Morales in this game, and you can switch between the two at any given moment. And they managed to showcase both of them equally, give them their own individual stories and character arcs, and yet all of it just seamlessly blends together, and it's so good. It's so awesome. The writing is excellent. The voice acting is excellent, especially by Yuri Lowenthal, and his descent into Dark Peter Parker is just so well executed. It's subtle but effective. Throughout the game, you just see his personality completely change.
He got away from us. I saved the tracker. Let's go, man, before he gets too far.
No, he's mine.
You sure? He's got big teeth.
So do I.
And it's not just through cutscenes, it's in your entire experience of the game. The way he starts talking and acting, even the way he fights is like more ruthless and vicious, and it's a slow descent into Dark Peter Parker with a really good payoff at the end. And his voice acting, he just knocked it out of the park with that contrast between good and bad Peter Parker. Web swinging has never felt better. It's super fun still to zip around the city, and now you can even kind of fly and glide. And honestly, with that new mechanic, I honestly find myself flying more than web swinging. I just thought that the flying was faster. Fast travel is made available, but I didn't ever feel the need to use it. It's just super fun to zip around the city. I don't know why you would want to use fast travel. And there's like airstreams that you can catch to speed up your travel time. I mean, you can get from one end of the map to the other end of the map in a pretty quick amount of time. So there's no need for fast travel. Zipping around the city is so fun. It's smooth, it's seamless, it's so fun. Now, is the game worth $70? Short answer, yes. But $70 for any video game today, that's a tough pill to swallow, especially with inflation going up higher and higher. Like, you really have to pick and choose where to spend your money as far as video games are concerned now. But I think Insomniac has packed enough content here and made like a really worthwhile video game that I would feel comfortable spending my money with them. I think it's a really good game. It's a really good time. I rarely ever finish video games before getting distracted and moving on to the next one. And I'm telling you, I could not put my controller down for this one. I played it straight through. I 100%ed the game. I did everything. I did everything there is to do in the game. And I'm probably going to go back and play it again. The replayability on this is pretty high just because it's super duper fun. I feel very comfortable giving them my money. And we got so much more cool stuff on the horizon. Wolverine was announced, and it was confirmed that it's going to take place in the same universe as Spider-Man, so this universe is just growing and getting bigger, and the future looks very, very promising. I mean, we could see a resurgence of the MCU all over again, but in video game format. Oh my god, I can only imagine where we're going to land. It's going to be amazing. Now let's talk about Grandpa Earl. This game is packed with content and jaw-dropping set pieces and action sequences, but there's one particular side quest that stood out to me more than most things in this game. It's a very small, very inconsequential part of this game. You could probably play the whole game, never interact with this mission, and it would probably make no difference at all. And yet, it's one of my favorite moments in this entire game. Someone's grandpa is lost, and you have to find them. That's it. That's the whole mission. There's no bad guys to fight, nothing particularly interesting to do except to follow a linear path until you find Grandpa Earl.
Hey there, sir.
Spider-Man? Whatever you think I did, I didn't.
Your granddaughter's looking for you, sir.
You then sit down on a bench with him for a few moments, and he proceeds to tell you about his life story and how he proposed to his wife at this very spot.
I proposed to my wife here. She... if you saw her, man, just perfect. But clumsy. Nearly fell into that pond there. Face first. You ever been in love, Spider-Man?
I don't know who the voice actor is, but the delivery and the writing for this small sequence is just so well done that you really lose yourself in this moment and you forget that you're like tearing up over like a pixelated character in a fictionalized video game.
Can I tell you something, Spider-Man? I know I'm fading. It's scary as hell. Thought I'd be ready, but nothing gets you ready. Nothing. When I'm here, it's like she is too.
I think this mission really encapsulates the entire spirit of the Spider-Man character. Because it's not just about beating up bad guys and saving the world from supervillains. At the end of the day, he is just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. This mission is a series of a few side missions that you can interact with as either Peter Parker or Miles Morales. And these missions are a little bit more personal. They're a little less about fighting bad guys and more just like intimate stories with different people throughout NYC. And even though you can play these missions as either character, all of the dialogue will be exactly the same, nothing will change, but Miles and Peter do deliver some of the lines slightly differently based on just where they are in their personal lives during this game.
I proposed to my wife here.
Wow, really? I have to ask, how'd you propose?
I proposed to my wife here.
Man, you're making the rest of us look bad. How'd you ask?
You ever been in love, Spider-Man?
Yeah, I have.
You ever been in love, Spider-Man?
Maybe.
It's beautiful. Nothing more beautiful.
I think that's just a really cool attention to detail by Insomniac. It's just really well done. Everything here is really well done. And I really wanted to give a shout out to the voice actor who voiced Grandpa Earl, but I just could not find that information as easily as I was hoping to find. I even tried asking ChatGPT. I said, ChatGPT, who voiced Grandpa Earl in Spider-Man 2? And ChatGPT said, in the 2004 film Spider-Man 2, the character of Uncle Ben, also known as Grandpa Earl, is voiced by actor Joe Penta... ChatGPT, that's not what I... Okay, fine. Who voiced Grandpa Earl in the Spider-Man 2 video game? In the Spider-Man 2 video game released in 2004, the character of Grandpa Earl is voiced by actor Stan Lee. Okay, so one thing I'm learning right now is Grandpa Earl is a deep cut. And fine, ChatGPT, who voiced Grandpa Earl in the Spider-Man 2 video game that came out in 2023? As of my last knowledge update in January 2023, I do not have information about a Spider-Man 2 video game released in 2023, so even ChatGPT could not help me find Grandpa Earl, and I really wish we knew because he deserves a recognition. Everybody is talking about Grandpa Earl. I'm not the only one affected by this. And I think this moment is, it just goes to show how important like video games and movies and anime and these kinds of stories can be, because you just never know what's going to resonate with the audience, And again, the voice acting in this part is just he just makes it so vulnerable and intimate, and just like makes you reflect on your own life for a second. We rub shoulders with people every single day, but we're just kind of just all stuck in our own personal bubbles and thinking about ourselves, which is a very human thing to do, but I just feel like we could treat each other with a little bit more empathy in the world. And I'm not talking about empathy on like a big scale. Obviously, there's empathy for things on a bigger scale, like, not wanting kids to suffer in any part of the world for any reason. I think we can all get on board with that. But I'm talking about like micro empathy in our innocuous day-to-day things. And I'm not perfect. I mess up a lot, but I try to lead with as much empathy as I can. And I think we can all just, work on micro empathy in the day-to-day of our lives. And shout out to Grandpa Earl. It was just a really good moment in this game. I liked it a lot. Now, of course, this is not a perfect game. It has its flaws. There are certain aspects of it that can eventually start to feel a little repetitive, but I'm going to give this like a solid, I'm between like an 8.5 and a 9 out of 10. Like, it's a really good game. I'm definitely going to play it a second time. It's super fun. I think it's worth your money. I think it's worth your time. You're going to have a good time with it. There's a few other tear-jerking moments in the game, but I won't spoil those for you, so go experience it for yourself. Buy Spider-Man 2, and I'll see you next time. Hit the like and subscribe. Okay, bye. We're gonna talk about Grandpa Earl. We're gonna talk about Grandpa Earl. we're gonna talk about Grandpa Earl a little later in the video.